is everyone. This is part 2 of the Orrerry, and here's my co-host Horlicks.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Isn't it hot?
Oh, it's just too much.
Yeah, much too much. No, I'm on the phone. When it's too cold.
So, what are we up to?
Okay, so I think last week we assembled the base.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find my camera boom is right in the way of the monitor. There you go. Yeah, last week we did the base, didn't we? So I'm thinking this week perhaps we shall start trying to fit the motor and seeing how that sort of assembles.
Lovely. Right, so I'm going to need my wires, I presume.
Possibly an offcut of some wire, because remember we've got the spin ring, you know what I mean.
Right, the spin ring. This is quite a long cable, so I thought I'll cut it about there, and then I'll use this bit for the wires for everything else, and then this bit will go directly to the motor.
I think so, yeah, because we have to wire in the slip ring with the LED and everything. So, yeah, we'll have to do a little bit of planning.
Okay. Which we should have done last week, but we're doing on the fly.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So first thing I need to do is he may not be watching, so I'll say it again on Wednesday. But big thank you to one of my subscribers for I've got a spare Orrerry. So I don't know what to do with that now, because this Orrerry is so good. It's not like you have a screwdriver for 3 weeks and then it wears out and then you get another one. You know, the original Orrerry is still about 99% as good as it was brand new. So I might be really flashy and have one at my work desk and then one over by my printers. You know, so I've always got an Orrerry within reach.
Yeah. I've got mine's all wrapped in cotton wool on the shelf. I won't touch it until that one is completely useless.
Yeah. So again, thank you to people who have been getting stuff off my Amazon wish list. I've been testing my Ender 3 all week. I've spent most of the week printing upgrades for the printer. I have done, in fact, I'll show you this because I really am pleased with it. So this is probably what I'd call, see how messy my desk is. Right. So this I did on the Ender 3. It's not fully cleaned up yet with all the support materials, but this is that same bronze that you use that you really like. This used to be a tiger eaten. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a small crocodile. And that took just over a day to print because that was done on a 0.06 layer height. But everyone I've shown it to is, hello, Chris, how are you? I did it like this so that we had the choice to either leave it plain, or I could paint it with my copper paints, or we could paint it properly like a tiger. And the person I did it for just looked at it and went, yeah, I'm happy with it as it is. So, yeah, really happy with that. So there's my base from last week. And there's my wire. And yeah, should I find the let's find the actual instructions, shall I?
Yes, yeah, we'll have a look and see.
Also, I need to make a big apology for Wednesday. What happened on Wednesday was, I don't know if I can show you. Right, when you do a screen share, I can do a screen share. Right. Hopefully you can see this. At the top of the screen there, it says, you are screen sharing, stop or present to everyone. And down the bottom here, you've got a button called stop broadcast. Now, for some unknown reason, rather than pressing that button there, it says stop, screen sharing, I decided to press that button there called stop broadcasting. And that is why the show came to an abrupt end. It wasn't technical hitch. It was an idiot error, really. That's all the only thing I can use to describe it. So I do apologize. And the reason I didn't restream is that we'd done everything we needed to do on the show. So I didn't see the point in starting a new stream. So while we've been chatting, I've been unsuccessfully trying to find the oh, hang on, it's in the description, isn't it? Oh, I can be a bit dim, can't I? I'm looking for the project webpage, and it's actually in the description of the YouTube bit. Down there, wherever it is. Right, so if this ever loads up, I'll tell you what, let's just make perfect, and I'll actually do a screen share even. Right, so we've got the materials. We printed off the majority of the parts.
Yeah.
Well, some of the parts. We've assembled the base. So the next step we want to do is the gears for the Saturn to Mercury. So we want... Right, so the cogs are all working up one dot upwards, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it worked out like that, yeah.
And we're going to motorize the sun. Oh, and we're going to do the sun. Have we printed the sun off officially?
Do you know what? I can't remember.
Right, I'm sure we
I
have.
think so, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so, because there was going to fit the LEDs, weren't we? It's terrible.
Yeah.
We can't.
So I'm guessing what we're going to need to do then is get our chopping implements, wires, bulbs, and soldering iron ready.
Yeah, and I think we need, because are we going to insert the shaft into the base?
Yes.
So we need a hacksaw for that. And I might have to just disappear for 2 seconds because we need an 8mm drill, don't we?
Yeah.
Now, here.
I seem to remember. Sorry, bear with me. I keep everything in a box now. Now I've got a screw there, and the other screw's fallen out. So here it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. Right. So we need 5 LEDs. These are the 5mm LEDs.
Yes.
We're going to need our sun. And if you've got it, you're going to need a piece of 4mm rod. What are you cutting your rod with, Horlicks?
I have purchased a junior hacksaw.
A junior hacksaw?
Yeah.
Is that Wilco?
No. Oh, I don't know. It was on eBay.
Okay, so what's that? Couple of quid?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cheapest one on there.
So, hey Dave Milne, how are you? So what should we do first?
Well, because I'm thinking we need to run the wires through the shaft. Oh no.
Oh yes. Right, something's just beeped on my computer. Are we still there?
Yeah. Yeah, so we need...
That's right. Right. Okay, so actually thinking about it, if you're going to have to run a lot of wires up the... oh, where's that gone?
we need to run 2 wires up the shaft and then attach it to the sun. But then the sun.
How long is the sun shaft?
Right, let's have a little look. The sun shaft is 178.
Right. So we're going to need at least 200 mil of wire.
But now I'm confused because the motor, we motorize this sun shaft, don't we? So if we're attaching, we've got to put the wires through the middle first and attach the sun. But then the 8mm shaft is where we're going to be attaching all the different cogs on, aren't we?
Mm.
But then how does that spin? Oh, see,
Right.
like, I'm in a terrible position again.
Let me explain my theory. I still think the 4mm rod is going to get me. Right. I think the 8. I've just lost the camera. Right. That's what that be. So I just, that noise the computer makes when you lose a USB connection.
Mm.
My computer just did that. So, and I've just gone to switch my camera, and it's wire. Where the hell's that wire going? I think I've caught the cable, and I've lost the front facing camera. So easy fix. Right. Yeah. Okay. I think what I've actually lost is connection to the computer. If you could bear with me a sec, guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's back, right. Okay, sorry about that. I think I might have knocked the camera while I was at it because I'm at a different angle now, aren't I? Right, so my theory is that somehow you've got to put the slip ring in, which is this one, and the 4mm rod is going to sit on this little bit on the slip ring.
Yeah.
So, and what you need to do is place the 4mm rod. Right, the 8mm rod will be in there, and then the slip ring will be in there somewhere. No, it'll sit on. Oh God, I can't think where the slip ring will go.
I think the slip ring gets attached, yeah, as you say, to the 4mm shaft. But then you've got then you've got the 8mm shaft that I think covers the 4mm shaft. But then I can't work out what drives all the gears.
Right. Right. Okay. This is my theory. We've got the next, right. Obviously, we've got this gear there. That's going to drive the cog that's on the 4mm rod.
Oh no, on the 8mm, and then the 4mm will be through the middle of it, won't it? Which doesn't spin.
But this now doesn't make. Does it not spin? No, that can't go in there though, can it? Or can it? No, because then the cog that's going to have to sit high. I wonder if that could sit higher, like there.
Yeah, that's an option. I think he did. There's a picture on the. There is a picture on there.
Right. Let's sort the motor out first, then, and then we'll get somewhere. Right. Now, as I've said before, I've attached my motor mount because there's 2 tiny screws, and I don't want to lose those 2 screws. So what I'm going to do, I think what I'll do is I'm actually going to use two of these phone chargers, and I'll use one complete for the actual power supply to the motor, and I'll use the other one for the second. The instructions are a little bit vague, and you've got two idiots trying to follow them, Chris Campling.
The thing is, it's weird because we did suss all this, we promise, and obviously there was a bit of a delay from us reading the manual and then actually doing this video, and all of a sudden this whole thing just looks really complicated, but at the time it really wasn't. But I'm getting confused about what shafts are going where and what shafts spinning and what shafts are not, because it doesn't make any sense. Because if the 4mm middle shaft is going to spin, well, I don't understand how the larger bearings are going to spin on the outside for the planets.
This is where I'm getting confused. Next question I've got: which way round is this? What I'm going to do, I'm just putting a bit of masking tape on this motor, because obviously I'm going to test it works, and then that little shaft is going to spin. I'm not necessarily going to be able to see it. So by putting a bit of masking tape on, when it goes round, that whole bit of masking tape will go round. Which way round do we want this? Because my guess is 4 wires inside here. 2 we want, 2 we don't. But if we hook up the positive and the negative one way, it'll rotate one way. If we do it the other way, they'll rotate the opposite way.
Yeah. I think we need to do it as per on the actual motor itself. There's a plus.
Is there? Yes. Yes. You can see that. Let me get my focus in. Oh, now it's telling me my camera's not ready. Sorry, guys. All right. There we are. So just there, there's a plus. Right. So is there a logic? Will there be a logic to this Poundland phone charger cable?
Yeah, there should be 4 wires.
Yeah,
Red,
but will they be the correct colours?
Yeah, it should be.
So I'm going to bite the bullet. Right, I'm going to cut this end off. And I'll strip some of the wire. I'll strip the outer sheath.
Well,
I know this isn't. I know there's people cringing out there now going, oh, what are you doing, Penny? Oh, okay. Nearly there. Nearly there. Right, so I have got 4 wires, totally unexpected with the colours. I've got green, pink, grey, and white.
Okay, so it's going to be a case of plugging it into the USB and using a multimeter to see what voltage is at what wires.
Ah, good old multimeter. Right, so.
But don't short any of the wires, obviously, when it's plugged in, unless you're going to use a power plug, because it'll send your computer into a frenzy.
Oh, God, it would, wouldn't it?
It would say there's a fault and shut them all off.
And then stream will end.
Yeah, you'll lose the microphone cameras.
Off my house. Right. So I bend those two back, those two out like that, and then right now. So we had, you know what? This will make you laugh, guys. I was having a look for the bearings. Could not find them anywhere, could I, Horlicks?
No.
Turns out I put them in a drawer for safekeeping. You know, when you put something in a place it's so safe you can't actually find it.
Yeah.
Right, so why is it's the wrong one. Right, so voltmeter, I think. I really want the crocodile clip ones, but right. Are we AC or DC?
AC, I think.
Is that normal? 0.04. Hang on,
No, DC, sorry.
Right. Okay, well that can't be right, can it? Minus 136. Right. Trying to find a battery. I thought I had a battery. Don't have a battery. Right. So let's find a USB port. This one will do. So we'll plug one end of this into the USB. And so if we pick two wires at random and we get nothing, I'm getting 5 volts from that. I'm getting nothing from that. Nothing from that. If I do that and that, now I'm getting minus 120 volts.
That's not right.
Does that mean it's sucking the electricity out of my body? So it's safe to assume then that pink is positive and green is negative?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, therefore then, if I hold that, oh, hang on, got a hole in it. If I thread that through the negative, can you see what I'm doing, guys?
You're slightly off.
Okay, let me rearrange my camera. Right, so if I thread that through the negative, like so, and then touch that terminal there, there you go. And then I get an error message on the computer saying this USB device is not recognized. So why is... So I'm wondering if these are power. Because why is Windows not recognizing the USB device?
Well, yeah, because it doesn't have a driver for a motor, does it?
Yeah, but I've only used... Whee! Right, so it's turned that way. So theoretically, if I put these on the opposite way round, it should turn the other way, shouldn't it?
Should do, yeah.
Because that's how a DC motor works. And that is turning the opposite way. Right, so we did have it right the first time. So why is my computer picking this up as... See, if I connected these two, computer's not doing anything. I thought if the data in and out wires aren't doing anything, then it would not. It would think it's picking up something.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Right. So what I'll do then is I will cut these almost to the end, like so. And then I will get, if I can find it, I know I have some somewhere. I'm actually looking for some heat shrink tubing. Sorry guys, I've just become so disorganized more than normal. Right.
I'm just looking through the manual and I really can't get. No, I'll show you what I mean. This is where I'm really getting lost, which I wasn't before. So when you assemble the base,
Yeah.
there is. Oh, one sec. Right, this picture here shows this 8mm rod, which gets.
Hang on, let me see you.
Yeah. Yeah, you cut this 8mm rod to length, and then that will get secured into the base there. Okay, and then that bearing will go in the bottom, and that'll house that rod so that it's free to spin, and we should end up with something that looks like that.
Yeah.
However, what I'm confused about is when we go down to motorizing the sun, when we attach all the motor, which is what we've done, well, nearly, you put that cog on there, and then that is going to sit underneath like that.
Yeah.
But when you actually do the sun, it's using a 4mm rod, which I'm guessing
so the fact that there is a cog on the top of that sun suggests to me, unless that sun is rotating all the planets.
Yeah, see, this is where I'm confused, because this tube will obviously go in the middle of the shaft. So, but the outer shaft is turning, but you put all the LEDs in the sun, we should have something that looks like this. And I noticed that he's put a resistor down there. Now,
yeah. Yes, it's the top of the sun that's turning all the planets.
No, it's the other way around. The main 8mm shaft is turning all of these, and then it turns this top piece, which turns the sun.
No, I think it's the other way around.
But it can't be because, like I just said just now.
Right, we'll scroll down a bit.
If you come to here, the base, that's the 8mm rod, which gets stuck into the bearing. Like so, and it's that shaft.
So how do these arms, these black arms, you know, what we've called the 101 prints, we'll explain that again later. How are they going round if the rod's going round?
Yeah, with the bearings, because surely this inside of the bearings will just spin and not the actual. That's what I mean. It's really good. This is ridiculous, isn't it? I didn't realise it was quite so complicated.
Yeah. Oh. think next project we do, we'll actually build it first. Can you remember the numbers on the bearings?
Yeah.
Can you remember which number is the inside hole?
I think it's the is it
Second
the
one?
Yeah. No. I think it's the first one.
Right. So the bearing that we're going to need then is the 8x16 by 15 to put inside the base.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is correct. Right, that's not going to fit in there, I'm sure. Yeah. So that is not, it's oh, right. Because they don't tell us which bearing goes where, do they?
No. Mind you, I think if you actually read it, I think it might.
Right.
Right, the base is fairly straightforward. The 8mm shaft sits in the central hole. An 8mm.
Ah, no, I've just figured it out. Look, I've just figured it out. Right. So the bearing that goes in the base is this one, 4x13x5, right? Except that's not going to quite fit. So that's going to just need a little bit of filing.
Yeah.
But that's got a 4mm hole in the middle. That hole is about 4mm, slightly smaller. But it can only be 4mm or 5mm or 13, right? It's 5mm thick. So the 4mm rod is, the 8mm rod is going to go into there, but only as far as the bearing, the top of the bearing. Then the 4mm rod is going to come inside the 8mm, and the end of the 4mm bearing is going to go into that.
Right.
Yeah. So it is that, and then the 4mm rod has got the cog on the other end and the sun. So that's going to rotate all of the other planets. So therefore, where the hell is the slip ring going?
That was bodged in, he said. It says...
Well, you're talking
on how complicated you want to make it. The sun is a very simple or somewhat complicated part. If you want the unlit sun, the sun only needs to be mounted to the shaft, as well as the two-spoke gear on the top of the sun. Right, if the sun is 3D printed clear plastic, right, hang on. Right, 2 wires run down the length of the 4mm tube. At the bottom is a slip ring that allows these wires to spin whilst the sun, with the sun, whilst maintaining electrical contact. I left space for said slip ring in the base, but an exact mounting mechanism is not provided. I bodged my slip ring to the bottom of the base with some spare pieces of brass tube.
right.
Power to the LEDs is attached to the same power as the motor, 5 volts.
So I think therefore then the slip ring is going to sit underneath. These wires are going to pass in through. The bearing will go in next. Well, I can't get the wires in. And that little hole in the slip ring will go inside the bearing.
No, because the shaft will poke through that.
Okay. So what we need to do is figure out some way of mounting that. Yeah. And then hopefully these will turn.
They're not long enough to get to the top, so we're going to have to extend them.
Yeah, well, that's not a major problem, is it?
No.
Right, so but then this will get in the way of the cog. I think the first thing we want to do is get the motor done, and then we can work everything around it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Right, so I'm going to have to fire up the solder iron and some solder. Solder.
What temperature are we going on the soldering iron?
Well, I'm using this one, so I'm just going to use until it's hot enough. For this particular part, it's going to be, it's actually on 350. That's the last time I used it. So the way I'm going to do it is the green we established is negative, didn't we? So I'm just going to twist my wires until they make a nice sharp point. I'm going to thread them through the little hole on the motor from the inside out. Once they go through, that didn't go through. Right, there we go. So I'm going to fold that in half. Then I'll give it a bit of a twist. I won't be able to twist both wires, but just as long as they're pointing downwards. And my solder iron is smoking. Probably got some crap on the end. And then this one. Oh, yeah, disconnect your motor before you start soldering it. Otherwise it starts buzzing and rotating.
So I need to cut mine. So I'm using actually a different type of cable. I'm using one of the ones you would use on, say, a 3D printer or a regular printer.
If you want, put some heat shrink on there. I don't think it's going to matter if you don't. I put heat shrink on the two bits I've cut off. It looks a bit ugly, but you're not going to have you're not going to get a case of shorting out then, are you? Right. No. So that one in, and then so I've got my wires connected, and then all I'm going to do is just pop in there a blob of solder.
So for my cable, I've actually got the correct colours. So I've got black, red, white, and green.
Okay, bear with me one sec, Horlicks. I'm just trying to thread this through, so I can't switch the cameras. Okay, so I'll lay that out like that. Right, so sorry, right. So yours
has got black, red, white, and green.
Okay. So you got a flashier one then, did you?
Yeah, it's quite a thick. Well, this was just found at work, so yeah, it's quite a thick, heavy-duty cable. So now I'm just stripping the wire myself.
All right. Do you want me to get on with mine and then we can look at yours?
Yeah.
Or do you wait? Okay. So I'll probably just try and come in a little bit closer. Now, I'm not going to be soldering it strictly perfectly professional. I'm literally just going to pop a little blob of solder on. If you've got a helping hand or something, brilliant, but I don't seem to have it to hand at the moment. So get your motor with your wires. This is why I'm tying my wires on as much as I can, so that you see there I've got a certain amount of pull. To be perfectly honest with you, if I didn't solder this, I might actually get away with it. But if you gave it a tug, it would go. But even with solder, if you gave it a tug, it'll still probably break. So what you're supposed to do is come in one side on the wire, come in the other side on the solder, but that never seems to work. And I'm doing this half blind because I can't see. So I'm just melting the solder and I've got it stuck. Get off. You'll notice when I did the LEDs on the R2, I didn't strictly do it properly. So I just want to make sure that wire is covered with the solder. And you see there's the ugliest joint ever. So that is the ugliest bit of soldering ever, but it does the job. So I really am not concerned. This isn't a how to solder professional show. This is let's try and make a project, see how we get on. And there we go. So
Brilliant.
I mean, that's like I say, it's not professional. I couldn't earn big money from doing it that way, but that is a lot stronger than it was. So what I'll do is I will okay. Right, plug that other end in. I've probably done way too much cable now. Right, and there we go. So it's going anti-clockwise. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, because don't forget in turn, it's going to turn a gear, which is going to turn another gear. So,
yeah. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, Chris Campling said it's going counterclockwise, which is correct. That's fine. I thought he'd said I thought he said it's got to go clockwise. Right. So I'm very happy with that then. So what I'll do is I'll now switch the camera to you. And we'll see how you do. Obviously, you've got all your proper equipment out.
Well, I'm having a bit of trouble with the helping hand. Okay. So I'm going to try and solder on my new helping hand. The camera seems to be quite blurry.
Yeah.
So I may have to.
So we'll see how we get on.
Webcam controller. Here we go. So. There we go. We can get a bit of a better view now. So
Obviously, you can see that if you use things like helping hands, it does make the job so much easier. Because now Horlicks only needs 2 hands rather than the 14 that you'd normally need when you solder.
Yeah, it's brilliant as well because I've wanted one of these for a long time, and
I mean, obviously, like I did mine the way I did it. If you guys want to do it a different way, however you solder 2 wires together, but so long as you end up with one big blob at the end and it's secure.
yes. So I'm going to solder that one in first. Just going to tin the end.
Yeah. I've just realised when I now plug that in again, it's not gone mental. Oh, Horlicks, you're on mute. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's my bad.
I'm just turning my soldering iron up because it doesn't want to play.
Yeah, that's fine. I always think it's best to start low and work up. No, so I didn't ignore the comment, Chris, where you said that we both need proper wire strippers. I've got some really good. They're only cheap little things that came with this cheap soldering iron, but they're absolutely perfect for small wires because those proper like what I call scissor type wire strippers, they just don't seem to work for small wires. They're too big for small wires. But these little cheapy ones, they're just perfect. So, do you want to explain the tinning process, Orlick?
Well, no, I was just saying I was going to tin it. I I mean, I'm just putting some solder on the end of my iron, but because tinning is obviously where you, tinning is where you twist the wire up and then you just run a bit of solder over it, and it makes it more rigid. But I don't think that's going to be a good option in this case because we've got the holes to work with on the terminals of the motor. But I'm just having a bit of an issue with the soldering iron.
Right, I'm going to be slight. I'm just going to disappear from the computer a sec because I've just thought of something to be extra super flashy. I'll be back in a sec.
Right. So now I'm going to attempt to solder this onto here. My iron's not working properly.
Oh no!
Right. Okay, I've got one in.
Okay.
I've got my iron on the maximum temperature just to do a little bit of basic soldering, which isn't correct.
Has it heated up properly?
I think so. I can feel it, but it's just, unless it's the end.
Yeah, Chris, I have got the little sponge somewhere, but it's not to hand. So I thought, I know, I'll just go ahead and maybe no one will know us, but we forget people like you know us, don't you?
Right, now I'm going to attempt to do the other side, hopefully. Yeah, I'm having a real struggle with this. The iron is just not doing anything. But it is red hot.
Is it actually screwed in, like the tip screwed in? But be very, very hot when it's hot.
Yeah, it's not wobbling.
Okay. But you got the first one in.
Just, yeah. There's always a technical problem, isn't there?
Yeah. Is it the solder, says Chris? Oh, there you go.
Come on. It just doesn't want to give.
It's your solder has got stage fright.
This is so hot because I can feel it. It's hot enough in here without this stuff going on.
Have you got the solder that doesn't need flux?
Yes.
Please reminding us that. Right, the only solution I can think of then is cut about 2 or 3 mil off the end of the solder and pick it up from further down.
Does solder go off, do you think?
I don't think so, but you know, if it has, when did you last use it?
Not long ago. Oh, there we go.
It's going, isn't it? But you can see that it's not gone quick. There you go, you got it.
It's still not ideal, but it's doing the job.
Just you watch those fumes though, won't you?
There you go.
Right. Looks good.
Right.
Looks better than mine. Right,
So
I'm going to do one thing that's not actually in the instructions. This is where I'm being flashy. The motor's going to go in like that. This obviously we're working on this upside down, so the wire's going to come back up. I'm just a bit worried that wire might get caught, so I'm going to fold the wire there, bring that wire up there, and I'm going to cable clip it on. You know, it's not going to protect it from the hardest of yanks, but it'll give it some protection.
Oh, Okay, so mine spins, but it's rather noisy.
Okay, that's not right, is it?
Is yours
Right,
loud?
there we go. So look, that's if I gave that an accidental tug, yeah, that's it's going to help. Should that make that? Let me have a look at yours. Is that supposed to make that noise? Well, it goes. Yours seems to go faster than mine. I mean, we haven't bought the same one, have we? So that would probably explain it.
I think so. We did, yeah.
How much power are you putting through it?
Well, I've just plugged it into USB, but I've put it into USB 3. I don't know if that makes it any different.
Shouldn't do. Let me put my. What I'll do is I'll get my cog on, and then I'll flick the views backwards and forwards between yours and mine, so we'll be able to do a comparison. Oh, she's probably about the same. But no, yours is much faster. So why is that then? Well, it's obviously the motor, isn't it? So if you reduce the power or increase the power,
yeah,
would that change the speed?
Yeah, it would.
Obviously, there's a minimum current that it needs to get it going.
The only thing I can think of is maybe where I've used high quality cable.
Ah, so maybe I'm not getting. Right, let me get the multimeter out again then. Oh, shut up, Artie. It's always moaning.
Yeah, it's on full spin. Well, no, it's not actually that fast because it's geared. But you know, if that was a proper motor, that would be you wouldn't be able to read the numbers. But
See, I'm getting 354 megavolts. Right. Yeah, I'm only getting 1.08 volts. That's why mine's so slow, isn't it? So why am I getting such a low current then?
try plugging it into a USB plug.
I don't know if I've got one. Oh, yes, I have. Right.
Let me see what I've got. So I'm reading.
I've just plugged mine into a fast charging port, and it's not working at all. Well, look, I'm not going to worry about it. Mine might just be turning really, really slow. No, see, I haven't got right. I charge my phone via the USB, Fleetwood. And I don't know where the plug. Oh, hang on. No, that's not it. I don't actually know where it is. So, but if that's only putting out 1 volt, that's not going to light the LEDs, is it? But, God, I got so much light bounce.
Yeah, I'm getting 5 volt to my motor.
Oh, hang on, I just got 3 volts there. Now I'm getting nothing now. I must be reading it wrong.
Pardon?
I must be reading it wrong. There we go. Yeah, look, 1.08, about 1.1. So that's either a poor cable or the wrong connection, isn't it?
Mm.
No, I'm not even getting that. Yeah, like 1.1-ish.
Yeah, it should be 5 volt.
Yeah. I was getting 5 volts though, wasn't I? Right. So let me
This is interesting though, isn't it? Because it's surprising what difference it makes, like depending on the materials you use.
yeah. Right. So give me a couple of minutes. I'm just going to prepare the other USB. Exactly the same colors, which is kind of figures because it's the exact same cable. Right. So let's switch out the USB cables. So I don't know if maybe I'm reading it wrong. Done something wrong. Right. So that one on there. Now it's saying, oh well. Why is it?
Over limit. The meter might be on the wrong setting. You still there, Penny? I've got no sound.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
You still...
Right. So I've connected this up to the motor connections, and it doesn't seem to be any different speed, does it? Or is it?
It's not as quick as mine.
No, but it's definitely registering. Well, not quite 5 volts. It is registering 5 volts now. So I'll accept the speed difference because it might just be your cable's better than mine. You know, I got mine from Poundland, so I can't expect the best cables.
Yeah.
Where did you get yours from, by the way?
My cable?
Yeah.
Work. There was a big box of spares. But this was one of these type cables that you would get off a printer. One of the square
No,
USB
that's fine.
ones. So I've cut that off.
Right, so I'm in a dilemma. Should I just switch these cables around? Desolder these.
I want
I'll test them again in case I didn't get a good reading. Yeah, that's only reading 1.02. So that's not going to be enough to power the LEDs, is it? Yeah, look.
That's a good point. Maybe I need to check mine.
Whereas this one, theoretically, there we go. Look. Have I got a blinky bulb there? Oh shit! I got a blinky bulb. No, that's constant now, isn't it? That's interesting.
I'm wondering if the cable's struggling. Because that should have blown.
Why is that blinking and then stopping?
I think it's because in the computer. I think you should try and stay away from using the computer as a power source.
Yes, I think it's got something to do.
Said that before as well, didn't she?
I put this on, right? Can you hear my computer when it goes mental?
Yeah.
Right. You see how it's blinking?
Yeah.
And as soon as I get the do, it just goes constant.
Is the motor still spinning all right?
I've not got it plugged in. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to desolder this. I'm going to put this one on. We know for a fact hang on, but that was, no, I'll tell you what. But this USB port should give me.
So I'm plugged into the computer. I've got my motor running. I've got a resistor set up. And if I touch mine,
yeah,
I get no bongs, or my computer doesn't recognize it as a source, and it works fine.
Right, so you still get that doesn't recognize it as a source. Right, this is interesting because when I plug this, I've got a straight USB, doesn't connect to the computer on one of my hubs. When I plug it in, that still registers 5 volts. When I plug this one in, it doesn't even go. So I really need a plug, a USB plug. Funny enough, I was going to buy one, and I never did.
Do you have a thicker cable somewhere you can use?
No. No, I've only got what I bought for this project. Right, okay. I think the other answer then is to carry on with you, and then I'll play catch up during the week. Unless, give me one more minute. Ha-ha!
Aha.
Ha-ha! I found out where my original phone charger is. Right, so let's find the motor wire under all of this mess. So that'll just fall off there. Right. Keep your motor running. Do. Born to be wild. And that's what happens when I plug it into the mains. That's interesting, isn't it? it only works plugged into the computer.
So perhaps the wires are mixed up. So plug it into your phone charger and then check the voltages on the different wires.
Well, I'm going to check this wire out.
Yeah, plug it into
First
your
of all,
socket.
yeah. If that's given me more voltage. Right, multimeter. Whoa.
Yeah, maybe we were on the wrong colours. Maybe the what?
No, it's definitely the right colours.
Yeah, but I'm thinking because my computer doesn't bong to tell me it's a USB device, so maybe we've got the wrong wires mixed up.
5 volts still.
Okay, and try it on the other two.
Is there a right and a wrong way with these?
No, I think it was just the wrong way to say minus.
Nothing. Oh, that's interesting. You're right. If I have the positive on the red, whichever cable I try it on, it gives me 5 volts ish.
What's that one you had a strong 5 volt on?
This one.
And what colours are they? Pink.
That is dark. That's grey. So let me just try something. If I blow this cable, I'm not overly worried because it cost me £1. So on that basis, I want the grey wire out of that. Right, so let's go back to this one then.
Yeah, so solder the grey as plus, and the other colour is your minus. That's interesting, because I only thought you're supposed to get power down 1. 2.
Who knows? Right, so if I touch the positive with that and then touch the grey, whoa, that's what I get.
Yeah, that's the right way.
Right.
Then.
Okay, so I've obviously done it wrong. So
no,
what
I
I
bet
want
if
to
you plug
do,
that into your computer, it won't bong at you either.
okay, so I'm going to cut the green wire.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Thing is, there is, from what I understand, USB cables have no convention for which is which. You know, it doesn't matter. In fact, you don't. Love Minis, you're watching this, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter what colors you use, but if you don't use the industry normal, no bugger can understand when they follow up your work.
Yeah, that sounds right. And that's exactly what they've done, isn't it? They've used colours that aren't
They
relevant.
just use whatever color. So long as each cable goes to the right end, it doesn't actually matter. Right, so I'm just putting a little bit of, again, this looks ugly, and it shouldn't really need it, but I've just put a tiny bit of heat shrink, just so that if the ends should twist in a really weird way, they won't touch. They don't do exactly as I just did there because you burn your fingers. But so I've just kind of fused the two. I put heat shrink and then melted it. You know, the heat shrink goes tacky when it's hot, and then I just push them together just so they stay together. So I'm going to need another cable tie, aren't I? So you're going to have to give me a couple of minutes, guys, because I've switched the solder iron off. So that's going to need warming up. So I do apologise, but it's not a bad thing if we've learned from it, is it?
No. No, that's really interesting. Oh, yeah, I think it was saying above, that one. So yeah, there's one 5-volt supply on a single wire, and then I suppose all the other wires are ground. But then I assume.
Well, you've got a plus and a minus, or plus negative, whatever you want to call it, and then you've got a data in and data out cable.
Yeah.
But it's obviously we've got the colours. Be back in a sec. I'm just grabbing another cable tie. I just really like the idea of the cable ties.
Oh, what a palaver, eh? What to do? I still don't quite know how we're going to fix this together, but
So we'll get there. Yeah, so without the cable tie, you see how it's loose. But if you just put that, it's not going to protect it from a really hard yank, but it'll help. All right. Yeah, that's not hot enough yet. This is only my cheap little solder iron, so it's going to take a while to heat up. Cost me about £8 or £10 or something stupid like that. So yeah, it does look like this slip ring might not be long enough, or the wires, so they'll need soldering. So if you attach, well, saying that, we could always use the wires because we're only going to need 2 of these, aren't we?
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself actually about how to do this, because we can't really attach that, extend that now, because we need to get stuff in. I think the best thing to do is we just run a length of wire down when we do the sun, and then we can sort the slip ring out later on. That's what I'm thinking.
Of course, I've twisted these wires so nicely that I'm not actually, it's going to be really hard to pull them off. Oh, I think I'm suffering from the same problem you were. Try not to catch the plastic bit on the mower. Also trying not to burn my hands on the wire, because to state the obvious, when you heat the metal bit at the bottom of the wire, that heat goes all the way up the wire.
Yeah.
So even if you're holding the wire from a safe distance, that heat's still going to move up. There we go, that's going. This green one's going to be harder because I've twisted it round. Oh, saying that, that's come out quite easily. I'm doing a little bit on one and then a little bit on the other, because it's getting rather hot to handle. I'm just giving it a chance to cool down a bit. Okay, that was hot. Right. Could actually use one of those sucky things. Right. So that's not the wire I'm going to use. So I'm just going to pop that on the floor for a moment to keep it out of the way. So we want red is still the positive, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
so,
was it grey? Because it wasn't a minus figure, was it?
Right, hang on then. Right. I'm pretty sure it's red is the plus, but we'll, if in doubt, test first. and that is going counter. Oh, sorry, guys. Right, that's going counterclockwise.
Right,
Going
yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So red is positive. Sorry, I forgot about the camera. But it's, oh no, it's not. Right, so plus. I'm trying to get rid of all those frayed ends. Yeah, ain't gonna work, is it? Right, so we'll try plan B then. We'll bend those terminals out a little bit, and I'm gonna.
I just want to do that. I'm just going to grab another water because I'm absolutely sweating it.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Cool, the heat coming off this solder iron. Oh, done it again. I've left it on plugged in. As soon as I make contact, the motor starts turning. Right, this is far from attractive again, but that's unattractive even by my standards. Oh, that's awful. I wonder why it worked then with the other one. Yeah, that's on there. Again, it's not attractive, but it's on there.
Brilliant.
So there's my motor. So that works. So yeah, I'm really happy now that we're doing this together, because I may not actually have spotted that problem until it was too late. So yeah. So cable. Oh, hang on, just unplug the solder line. I know I'm gonna have to wait for it to load heat up again later on, but safety.
Brilliant.
So but make sure that the wire's on this side, because the way it's going to go into the base, this bit's going to be on the outside.
Okay, so I think
It's all right, Paul. You don't have to wait for me. That's fine.
no. I'm just with things. Oh, no, I was just explaining the next step. So I think the next bit we should do is attach this motor into the base. What do you think?
Well, we're going to need to get some power from somewhere, and we're actually going to be putting the power bit into there, aren't we? Sorry, not there, on the other side. But we're going to need to draw the power from the same line. Well, it was right. We're going to have to draw the power from the same line to power the LEDs, aren't we?
Yeah.
So would it be wise, even if we only put a small amount of wire, just to pop a little wire on there?
Oh,
now,
make it stick out. Yeah.
Just even if we only put that much wire on.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah,
should I use the same? Should I use the same convention then? For yeah, I'll use the same color wires as the other one. Should I?
Yeah. The LEDs are polarity sensitive, aren't they? So
yeah. So I'm going to be a bit brave, and I'm going to use the whole cable, the whole lot, because we can always shorten it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is strip a bit of this wire, and I'm just rolling a knife just around the outside, not enough to get to go all the way through, because you'll always cut a little bit deeper than you thought you had. There we go, just starting to get a bit now. So we want grey wire, which I should okay, that didn't work. Right, I think I just cut my fingertip. Right, what's the best way to strip these wires out?
Just yeah, nip in the top, and then.
Well, I thought I could pull a load of cable through, but it's not working that way, is it? I'll tell you what I'll do. What if I mean, this is the hard way to do it. The easy way is to use this wrapping wire that I just happen to own.
Yeah, in here I've got a very small USB cable now, and
This sheath on this Poundland one is weak enough that I can just pull it like that. There we go. So, sheath in the bin.
yeah.
Longer needed. So, red wire or pink wire and grey wire. So, I'm probably putting way too much to handle, but I'd rather keep this wire very long than not long enough. So solder iron is warming up, and then just take a little bit off the end there. And a little bit off the end there. Don't need to strip the other end yet. I'll fold that over and then carry on twisting it. Just want a small amount of contact on the end. work out which way this is going to go. I think we'll come in from this side. So all I'll do is I'll just tap a bit on there and right. I'm going to have to just take 2-second break. I am going to need that help with hands.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm struggling. I've got a dodgy iron, haven't I?
Yeah. I just can't remember where it is. I think it would also help if I use the correct glasses, because I can hardly see a thing. So these, if you haven't got one of these, invest in one. They look quite expensive for the job they do, but once you've used it 4 or 5 times, you're like, wow, that's amazing. Right. So I lost my wires now. Pink wire and grey wire.
Okay. I've done mine. It doesn't look too pretty because so my iron's not having a good time, but
I'm doing a cheating way here. It actually isn't, the cheating way isn't working either. Okay. Let's take that off. And let's pop that in there. So it would help if the solder iron finished warming up, wouldn't it? Right. Let's do the I'll do that one later. So if anyone's tuning in thinking they're watching 2 professionals, wrong. Oh. Of course, a simpler way to do this would have been to strip more off. Twist the end. Wrap that around. Actually, I've cut way too much sheath off there. Like so. Make sure you're making contact with the actual pin. I just don't need that much, do I? Right. Right. So twist the end, thread it through, bring it round. Make sure you're wrapping around the solder that's already there. Get both ends together and twist it. Like so. and then we can solder that in. Come on. I know I am using the wrong end. Oh, this is ugly as anything. It's not even working.
Yeah, I've just
and I've just burnt my hair as well. Yeah, if you got long or hair of any length, pin it back. Right, so that is wobbly as a hell. Right, I might just have to unsolder all of this and start it again. Because that shouldn't be that wobbly, should it? It's on, that ain't coming off. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. It'll either fail or it'll work. Right, so phew, that burning hair solder iron stinks.
I've never done that, but I haven't got
no
long hair.
Your barber murders yours, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, once, not every time.
You do know you're never going to live that down, don't you?
Yeah, but it was only a one-off, just because it was a trainee.
So this is an absolutely awful job at soldering, but it's doing the job.
Yeah, and the driver is, once this is fit into position, it's not going to have to be moved again. So
yeah, that's what I thought. Right. Okay, so unplugging the solder iron because sorry, Adrian. Right, so if I turn that round, and plug it in. So the motor's turning. Right, we've got a grey wire there. And pink wire there. If I put an LED and grey wire on there, bingo. Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
And with 5 of those, that should be all right. Hello, is it Gross Models? Gross Models. How are you? So
you
are we
used the resistor on that one then?
Adam?
So you didn't use a resistor?
You know, I actually forgot to put the resistor in. But I got away with that one, didn't I?
Cool. So yeah, I suppose the next step is we need to insert the motor into the base.
Right.
There's like 2 fixing screw holes, and we can pop that in, and there is just enough room in the middle to bring the wires through.
Yeah.
Underneath. So mine looks a little bit, once it's in place, it should look something like that.
Yep.
And
what I've done is I've actually cable tied my wire a little bit too low. So what I'm going to have to do is try and pull that up a bit. And that might require a bit of brute force. Oh, there we go. So There we go. That's lovely. But I'm going to test the screws first because
you might want to put the wire the other side, because when you fit that wire was a little bit in the way of the motor.
Oh, what you mean? Bring the wires in through like that?
Yeah, like this one. I've done mine, because then it's completely clear of the motor.
Of the motor or the bearing or the cog?
Well, both. Same, you know, the cog.
Okay. So like that.
Yeah. And the white one, and your big one as well.
The only thing I've got on there is with my printer, the tolerances are a bit naff. So that screw's not actually going to go into there. So, but you get this a lot with 3D prints anyway. I'm going to have to get the drill and re-drill just the top of the hole. Well, as much as I need. So, drill. And I've seen that. Right?
The other bit. This bit I've already done.
Because I'm really old, I'm going to have to swap my glasses back.
Okay, so I'm using these, I don't know what they are. I think they're M3.
Yeah, I think mine's M2 or M3.
And I've got a perfect bit for the Orrerry, and then I've already sort of done the holes out on this, so mine should just be able to go and screw down.
No, with the M number, obviously the M number means the millimeters, but is the screw measured from the absolute widest, or is it measured from the inside?
I don't know.
That probably didn't make sense, did it? Right. So because I think I've got a M3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with an with a 2.5 mil bit. So I can always drill it bigger then, can't I?
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you drill... Oh, hang on.
Oh, I've just dropped a screw. Right,
oh, you don't want to do
that? No.
Right. So,
and then I'm just going to try and get this other one in. If I can... My focus is a bit... Woo!
How's it go? Woo! Woo.
There you go. So yeah, I've got the one in, but I've only, like we always do, it's only just enough to grab while I get the other side in.
Yeah.
But I need to sort of hold these cables out of the way and make sure they don't get snagged. Brilliant. So that is going in nicely. One and two.
Excellent.
So my motor is now fixed in place, and if I turn that on, there you go.
Oh, beautiful.
That's what we got.
Lovely. Right. So obviously I'm going to do mine different because where I've printed with such a rough print quality, the hole's not the exact size. So got my 2.5 millimeter drill. Start off slow. And you really don't want to be drilling fast into plastic because all you'll do is you'll melt the plastic and it'll get stuck around this end. So that was a bit too quick. And keep it drilling on the way out as well. I know sometimes I explain obvious things to you, but I do anticipate that every now and again there'll be someone watching that knows absolutely nothing and would just appreciate the occasional thing. Why not? You know. Now, for some reason, this screw is resistant to my magnetism. So I'm going to have to put them into the motor. Right, I think I dropped the motor earlier on. Yeah. So I'll just pop the one screw in. I may not have drilled that wide enough, but I'd rather gone in it's too small than too big. Oh, that's going in. That is really tight to go in, but I've made it more like a self-tapping screw. So it's going to cut its way in, which is how I'd rather do it anyway. So I'll just manipulate that a bit. Drop that in there. It's a little bit harder when you... I don't know. I guess it's the material that these screws are made of. And I may not have drilled this deep enough. So we don't know until I've done it. Oh, I might have problems with mine. We'll see. So me being flashy with my cable tie may not have worked.
Yeah, that's what I said. The thicker cable needs to come the other side as well, I think.
Yeah.
But so you get on, you might be able to nudge it out of the way.
Right. Whoa, this is hard work. But that screw ain't falling out, is it? Right, so that's in there tight. So let's give it a look. Plug it in. Bang. Yeah, that needs to be moved out. Yeah. See if I can okay. I don't know why I pull the plug out. I've got an on-off switch for my USBs. Yeah, when you said about it getting in the way of the motor, I thought you meant like getting in the mechanisms, but obviously it's the cog. So there's a lesson there learned.
I love many scissors 33.33333C here. Everything is melting. Yeah,
Oh,
actually melting here. I've got the window wide
horrible.
open. But
I hope your cats haven't melted, love minis. Sorry, I'm going to have to pick this up. You know me, I tried to do everything on camera, and get the perfect... Right, okay. Adrian says that the screws are measured from the outer thread, not the inner. So that's why my 2.5mm drill is working well, because it's the inner dimension I've gone for. Right, so the way this is going to go, then I'm going to tuck that under. Doesn't matter which side, does it?
no.
So, and it's not going to get, actually it's got to go this side, because there's a little bar there, if you can see it. Because if I tucked it that side, it'll get worn out by the cog. So we'll tuck it that way. Don't know if you actually saw that. So but there's plenty of space in there. I don't know if he took that into account. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it there. Between the middle and the screw hole is that little gap.
Yeah.
And there's one on both sides. So just line up the screw hole. The first one that I found is the hardest one to line up. Especially as I can't get him. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's do it properly in the first place, shall we? Oh, there's quite a lot to line up all at once here. Okay. You could actually use tweezers, I suppose, couldn't you? It's just there's not really enough gap in here to get your fingers in. Well, not enough gap for me, and I haven't got particularly large fingers. How would you rate your fingers, Horlicks?
Huge.
Huge. So you must have even more trouble than me getting that screw in.
Yeah, I think I did pretty much what you did the first time. I put the screw through and then tightened it down a bit.
So I've done well today. I've made 2 mistakes, haven't I? So don't forget, guys, the screws that I used for the motor were actually the EM screws from the Routemaster. Is that the same one you used, Horlicks?
Yes, I think I did in the end, yeah.
So I still haven't looked to find what magazine that's from. Although I would say don't go out and buy a copy of, if you don't collect Routemaster, don't go and spend $8.99 just for 2 screws. That's a bit of a waste, really. Right, so cog on. The reason I'm struggling is that's not a perfect circle. That's got a little flat bit on it to obviously stop it from slipping. Right. So, motor's going round.
Yeah. Have I lost sound? Have you? Penny, have you lost sound, or was it me?
0.73.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. Testing, testing. This is a test.
That was loud.
Was it? This is an announcement, an important announcement. This is a test. How's that?
Yeah, good.
Right, so I don't know how much of that you got, but basically everything's working. Now, you could have drilled a hole in the side there, a little bit bigger than that hole, and then you could thread the cable through the hole. But to be honest with you, I'm all right with that cable sticking out there like that. Obviously, these little cables, they're not going to be coming out the side. They're going to be going through there. So they won't be there. So that's what it's going to look like. So maybe you could look for some black cable or print this base in white or whatever. But obviously, that wire is going to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm actually rather glad that I cable tied that in now. I think that's going to need a rather tough tug to pull that out accidentally. So, so the next stage is, I'm going to guess, checking the hole there.
Yeah, we're going to check that. And I'm actually just checking. Oh, I can't find the bearing that even goes in that hole now.
No, I don't think the bearing's going to fit. I think we're going to need some work on that.
Because I was just going to check that basically I've temporarily put the cog on the end of I've cut forward a bit. Look, I've put this cog on the brass rod just as
right.
And what I wanted to do was, with the bearing in, just check that it's level, and then it does actually spin the shaft. Just in case I need to make any adjustments with the motor.
Right. I'm with you. I think.
Right, so that.
So have you used the 4x13x5, which I can't remember the code ending in ZZ?
Yeah, 624ZZ.
Right, which is, in my language, is 4x13x5.
Yeah.
No, it's not the 4x13x5. It's
Yeah.
it's the 8. 8x16x5.
No, that's too big.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because remember I said that one because I thought the 8mm rod was going through it, but it's not.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right, my bad. Right, okay, everyone, ignore me on that one then. Ah, yes, these 8x16x5s, they're the ones that the planets are going to go on them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, so
yeah, I've got an issue, so I'm having to grind back the inside of this hole.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. But your 4mm rod is going to go through all right?
Yeah, well, it's a bit tight.
Right, there is possibly a way to do this. Have you got a...
Actually, yeah, that goes through fine.
Okay.
Bit stiff in places.
Have you taken much off?
No, I'm still grinding this hole in the base.
Okay. So you use the round one, are you?
No, I haven't got any round ones, so I'm using a square one.
Okay. You obviously, you can appreciate it's going to be easy if you used a round one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't got any yet. I need to get a set. I do need to, it is on one of my top things to get.
Right.
So needle file.
I'm wondering if I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my vise out, because I think if I build that up with things, put it in a vise, and then slowly close the vise, I think that's going to force that in. Yeah, right. I've got mine, so it's nearly in. So let me just set my vise up, and then I'll show you what I mean. I have a little bench vise, but because I don't have a permanent working area, I have to set my vise up as and when I need it.
Actually, as well, before you fully place your bearing in situ, where it's unrecoverable to take back out, I think we need to drill the top,
the 8mm hole,
and make sure that the 8mm rod fits in the top.
Okay.
It's all doing things. This is all like touching, this is just on the fly, guys. You know, the manual's quite complicated.
No, it's right. Make sure that things fit properly before you commit permanently, because otherwise you're going to commit permanently to something that doesn't fit.
So I've got a huge 8mm drill here, and I'm going to go straight down the center of my shaft.
Oh, come on. I can't get my bench vise on. We'll go for that, Horlicks.
What? That might have done the job.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get the 8mm shaft to fit in the big hole along the top first, because then we know that fits. We can then secure the bearing in the bottom and not have to worry about having to drill it out and ruining a bearing.
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to ruin that print to get that bearing out if you push it in tight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. So let me play catch up. I've got to find my rod for. I had that rod this morning. because it's such a big rod, if you stand it up, it falls over. And then it just ends up somewhere on the floor.
Whilst working,
guys, I have been tidying today, but not in the places I really need it.
whilst I've been doing this, I've noticed that these feet are getting looser and looser and they're falling off. So what I think I am going to do is apply some glue to keep these feet on. It should be all right once you know it's up and running, but all the time we're working on it and it's upside down, it's causing a bad cry. So
we need to make sure the bottom is done before we start work on it. Otherwise, we can't keep turning it upside down.
No.
Family rod. Right. So. So I am going to also be making some noise. Are you going straight in with an 8mm drill bit, or are you going in with a smaller one and building it up?
I've gone straight in with an 8 and it's not actually working. I might have to go in with something like an 8.5.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. I'm going to try 8 again.
No, I've actually gone in with an 8 and it's worked fine. But what I'm doing is I'm drilling a little bit from the top and then a little bit from the bottom. And then a bit like the French and the English, building two ends of the channel tunnel and meeting in the middle.
Right.
Right. Oh. That is difficult, but almost a perfect fit. Right. So, with mine, I've just drilled that hole a little bit. The reason the holes tend to be a little bit small is because I've done this on a 0.3 layer height. It's a lot more inaccurate. And that's all I've done. If you find that you can't keep the control, go in with a smaller hole, a smaller drill bit. In fact, I'm going to take the legs off. If I take the legs off, I'll be able to put that rod in. So you might actually want to do this before you put the motor in.
Yeah.
In fact, that might even still be too small.
Yeah, I'm having that problem. I've drilled mine out 2 or 3 times with the 8mm, but it's so tight.
Okay. Have you got an 8.5?
I do, but I'm worried that's going to be too much.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do then. Because I printed my base on a lower quality than yours, I'll try it with an 8.5, and we'll see how we go. It might be too loose, you see. Whoops. I'm so glad I got the drill bit with the chuckless key thingy. Right, so start off slow. Right. Okay, that didn't work. Right, I'm hoping that it just wasn't in tight enough. No, my battery's gone dead. That's what it was. Right, so start off slow. Just trying to pull the drill bit in. and I've got a dead battery as well, so that's really not helping. Yeah, that's slightly loose now.
Slightly too big.
Slightly too big. That'll be all right because I could probably glue it in.
Yeah,
but
and you didn't go all the way to the bottom of the drill, so you're
yeah.
still getting support at the bottom.
I'm going to see if I can twist it in, because like I say, I haven't drilled all the way down because the drills really shouldn't be drilling with a drill that's got a daft battery, but yeah, if you push hard and twist, it'll go in.
Can you get it out again?
Possibly. Possibly, but no, mine's not coming out. Which is now a bugger, because that's going to scupper my plans for the bearings. Right, where is my file just gone?
If you pull and wiggle, should be all right.
No, I've pushed mine right in. So the only thing I've got left is just keep going. But that's not going anywhere. So at least it's in. So the 8.5 was a bit too big, and the 8mm was a bit, but yeah, it's a bit too small. So do 8.5 at the top, and then push it in, and then bang the other end of the rod on the floor, and then you'll get it in eventually.
What I've done is I'm still got the 8 on here, and I'm just going in and out.
Yeah.
And if Chris Campbell's watching, he's going to be.
I'm so sorry. I keep hogging the view. What you could also do, if you had a round file, I have done this. It's probably not recommended. I put my file down and I've lost it.
Okay, my rod goes in now.
Okay.
But
yeah, what you could have done is put your round file in. Oh, hang on, no. Right, you could have put your round file in the drill, and then put that into the hole, and then just gently work it around.
Yeah.
Hey, my whole desk has just collapsed on me.
Okay, so with that being done,
I just found the file.
You're not going to be able to get, mind you, I think you're going to have to get your rod out.
Right, I hope not.
Because it needs slicing, doesn't it?
Pardon?
You need to cut it, and
cutting it's not going to be a problem. Because we just need to cut it. I'm going to have to move my camera up, which means you're going to have to see all of my desk. Obviously, I'll still cut it, but I might cut it later on. Right.
So, yeah, my bearing has just slipped in very nicely indeed.
Right. Because you've been working on yours very gently, have you?
Yeah.
What I was going to do, but I put the rod in, I was going to put, I got the bearings so it almost goes in. And I was going to put a couple more bearings on there and a bit of wood there. And I was going to put it into the bench vise.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Open that right up. And then because these ends...
Have you not got anything to tap the 8mm rod out from the underneath?
Not to hand. It's all right. I mean, like, I can either print a new one of them off in a couple of hours and start all over again, or just keep it as it is. I think I'll get away with that. So
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
let me get rid of this. You might hear a clatter because there's a bit of wood underneath it. I have to put.
Oh, I think your sound's gone off again, Penny.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. It's doing that old playing up trick again, isn't it? Right. So. Where's the box of Orrerry bits? Oh, please don't say I've lost them again. Oh, how frustrating are you? So these 8x16s, are they going on there, aren't they? That's why we need so many of them. Or not.
I'm not.
So I'm jumping ahead of myself there. Right. So how long? I think we're going to have to look at yours, really, because, oh, I still need to get that bearing in, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got mine in. I'm just looking at the gears because they're all very tight fit. The holes aren't quite.
See, I can't do anything without the... Oh, bugger. I just realised I've got a 4mm rod, haven't I?
Yes.
Do you remember when, well, basically what had happened, guys, was where I'd ordered the rods for both of us. And the rods came in a stupid flimsy plastic bag. And out of all of them, I lost one got lost in the post. And so for speed, I ordered one on eBay. And I've actually ordered a rod, not a tube. And I just realised that rod is going to be no good because I'm going to have to push wires up through them, aren't I, to the sun?
Yeah, but we only got one length of 4.
Pardon?
Of course, because we've only got one length of 4, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just slowly eating away at the hole. Ow! There you go.
What's the out for?
I just poked my finger with a tube. So
Silly.
This is going to be the receiving gear for the motor with the tube on. And what we'll probably do later on when we figure out exactly how high this has got to go, I will probably put a little drop of glue just on the top just to keep that secure.
Yeah.
So with that in now, I can now push this rod through the bearing.
Yeah.
All the way. Obviously the tube's a bit too long at the moment.
Oh, I'm too good. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I've pushed my bearing in because I've got the rod. I've rested that bit of rod on the floor and I've just put the bearing in and I've just hit it with my little crafting hammer.
Yeah.
And that's gone in a tree. Of course, now that's not moving. That's not ever coming out. Ever. That is well. But I have had to get my round file and just keep going round and round the hole. So, right. Okay. So where were you up to then?
Right. So I've just put the cog on and I've put the tube through the bearing.
Right. Say that again. Sorry.
I've put the cog on.
Yeah.
There you go. And I've put the tube through. So now,
lovely.
I'm ready to test. to see if this tube's going to spin.
Go for it. I don't think that. I think the 4mm will, but the 8mm won't.
There you go.
So you got the 4mm inside?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 8mm isn't, but the 4mm is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
there's actually quite a lot of torque on that.
Is there?
Yeah. But the problem I've noticed is, it may be rectified later, I'm free to pull this in and out. So, I'm
yes,
not sure.
but when you've got this sun on the other end, that'll stop it from dropping down, won't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. What I'm actually doing, just more for tidiness, because obviously I've not got my 4mm rod. I'm just pushing the two wires, not the power wires, but two wires, the two additional wires for the USB, up through the 8mm rod, just to save a load of wire hanging everywhere.
Oh yeah, because that's...
Yeah, you've only got to catch it with your foot when you walk past it, and it's going to go flying across the room. And plus, it'll give us a little bit of a look at what it's... Because obviously, when I showed you the base with the wire coming out, you're seeing the two little wires as well. And it's looking a little bit unattractive. But once we poke those wires through, just tidy it up a bit. So, and they get stuck halfway down. So, oh no, they don't. There we go. So,
Brilliant.
You happy?
Yeah, so that's all spinning.
Happy?
Huh?
Is our audience happy?
So I think, like, in regards to the build, I mean, these are long builds, but as I say, we're learning just as much as everyone else. So
yeah,
we haven't pre-done this. It'll be too easy. But
listen, right, when I do the R2-D2, there's so many bits that I've looked at, and I'm like, even with, I mean, the instructions for Michael Badley's R2-D2 are amazingly good, but even then, you can't really visualize how it goes. Then you print the part off, and then you have a look, and you're like, oh wow, yeah, that's genius. But I've just threaded this wire through, so as you can see, I've pushed it up through the middle, and it's just come out the end of the 8mm. Obviously, I'll have to pull those wires out to cut this 8mm rod. But what I'm going to have to do from this point on is I'm going to have to... we're going to be... It's going to pretty much turn into the Wednesday Routemaster show where Horlicks is guiding me. I'm going to be guiding Horlicks until I can do a catch-up with the rod. So it's not quite gone to plan, but I think you are ready to start putting some of the little rods on, the arms. So
yeah, I think.
So what we do next? Are we doing the sun next, or are we going to do the arms? Or nothing, because it's now 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll leave it there. We've got quite a lot done. We've got the base done. I've got my cog on and a rod in.
Right.
I think the next job is to do the sun, I think, and there's going to be a lot of soldering, and I'm going to need to let soldering iron and find out why it's not working properly.
Okay, so right, how about next week we just do the sun, because I've still not got round to doing the pipe benders. And what I thought would be quite nice is if I did it on the show.
Yeah.
And then people can see how I use Tinkercad and how simple it is. Would that be useful, do you think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we could do that next week then, couldn't we?
Right. So it looks like, I mean, all right, doing the sun next week is going to kind of pull us behind a little bit where we want it to be. However, saying that, we had the planets planned for about 3 weeks, over the course of 3 weeks, doing a few of the planets. I think if we get the sun done next week and then do the pipe bending the week after, I think we can do all the planets. Because if we do the pipe bending, well, what we were going to do was bend the pipes and then stick the planet on and do 2 or 3 of them. I think if we bend all of the pipes, then that's going to leave us a week where all we can do is just pop the planet on and that's it. Because the planets aren't actually going to do anything other than just sit there and go around.
Yeah.
So we've got, how many weeks did we plan this for? 8 weeks. We're on week 2, aren't we? Are we on week 2?
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, we've had 3 episodes, but the first one was just the introduction.
Yeah. So we've got theoretically 6 weeks penciled in for this. And I think we could theoretically do it in 3 or 4. But that's how we wanted to plan it. We'd rather plan that we can always reduce it rather than trying to extend it. So yeah, I think that's gone quite well then. What do you think, Horlicks?
Yeah, I think definitely, a few little problems here and there.
Yeah.
I think, it is going to take, this project does test your patience, I think.
Yeah, yeah. What's I always kept all my parts in a bag, and I found out last week the bag's got a hole in it, so I've lost about 6 cogs. So I need to reprint them anyway. But I might even reprint the whole lot, because with having the I need to stop for a moment. I need to check on a print I'm doing. I'll leave you with my Orrerry as it is. Back in a sec.
Brilliant. He says he won't be as tall as that. Sorry, Adrian. Yes, I did have an 8.5 drill bit, but I decided not to go for that because, as you saw, Penny's was a little bit too loose. So I just went in and out with an 8 on mine, the right size, just in and out slowly, and that seemed to work for me. So yeah, I'm happy. Oh God.
Yeah, so for the benefit of those that weren't here at the start of the stream, obviously I printed off a load of my first prints on the Ender 3 were mod prints, and they look really good. I'll get some pictures lined up. But this is the first really fancy print I've done, and that is a tiger eating a crocodile thing, and I absolutely love it. But what I've just done is my very first PTG print, and this is what I love about the Ender. Having said that, this is the first PTG print I've pulled off, and it's freaking hard. So yeah, that didn't work. Hang on, I'm gonna need a scraper now.
That print that Penny just put out did look very shiny. Be interesting to see what the
PTG.
Yeah.
I've actually found a flaw with this. One of the things I'm loving about it is because it's a smaller print bed, it's either the whole print either fails on the first layer if it's not leveled properly, or it'll come out perfect. But what I've noticed, wow, oh shit, that's actually ripped the print bed. Huh. Oh well, never mind. So there's my first PCG print. Let me change the camera for you.
Was that cold?
Yes.
Oh my god! Yeah, normally when they cool down, they just pop off, don't they?
No, it's actually easier when it's hot. So that is. Oh, okay. So it does break. Mind you, it's a really thin layers, but that's pretty tough, isn't it? Yeah, I think I need
actually to bash them.
Pardon?
Did you actually print them to test them with a hammer?
Well, I didn't. I was hoping it wasn't actually going to burst through it, but but it is. It is. See if I can find a PLA print. But I mean, look, I've hit that a couple of times with a brass tip hammer. So I don't think you can really complain about that, can you?
No.
And it's actually thin walls. It's less than a millimeter thick, those walls. Like you can see how thin they are. So and I did the wrong infill as well. I changed the settings, and the default infill is grid, and I really don't like grid. I use cubic. Oh, okay then. Right, so that's how good the build mat is. So yeah, 2 reprints required there. One's destroyed the mat. One is split in half, coming off the bed. But I have noticed for some reason they come off easier when they're hot. So yeah, okay, but that's still tougher than PLA. So
I just realised no one can see me. I'm chatting away.
yeah, if you were chatting away, no one heard you either.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're all right, aren't they? But that's quite funny, that splitting the print as it come off the print bed.
So maybe printing that might be a good idea to maybe lay masking tape on the bed.
I don't think it'll stick, but no, it comes. You really want to be pulling it off. Trouble is, I mean, I'm getting. That's just a little bit there. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? But the number of prints I've done on this, that's all right. But yeah, these are only about £8 to replace. So, and I've got a couple on Amazon. Like you get 3 for £12 or something.
Right.
But yeah, I'll reprint those with more. But this one, yeah, it's because I ain't done enough walls on them. But look, this is my first attempt at PPG, and this is the same print. You can see how warped it is.
Yeah.
So that was done on a really high, but look how shiny it is. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that. You can tell which one was on the build surface, can't you? But one of the great things about these prints is that not a single one of them needs supports. I think, oh yeah, I printed that way. If you orientate them correctly, they won't need print. Like you see these tabs, he's put them so that they actually hit the end. So you can print it that way, so there's no supports needed. Even that hole in the middle didn't need supports. But this bit there, what's going to happen is you pop a nut in there, and then you'll put a screw through, and it'll catch with a nut and pull it in. But yeah, no, I'll get those reprinted, and in fact, I might print all 4 actually. That one's tough, but that's because it's smaller. This one's a little bit loose. But yeah, I think I used 2 or 3 outer walls. So 0.2 layer height. Yeah, that wall's less than 1 millimeter thick. So Tiger, you want to see. So I haven't finished pulling all the supports off yet and tidying it up, but that is amazing, isn't it? That's the bronze filament from 3D filler print that I persuaded Horlicks to buy.
Is that, what setting was that on? 0.3?
It was on 0.06.
0.6.
It took over a day to print, but and that's how big it is on the print bed. So it is a sizable print.
Yeah.
But so yeah, really, really happy with it. But again, this hasn't got that many outer walls. I don't know. I think I'll try the yellow stuff actually next. PETG on the same settings. But again, it's I've let it go. I've noticed with the PLA, it just seems a lot easier to get off the bed when the bed is hot. The only trouble is with the PETG, I've used a bed set in 90 degrees, and it's rather hot.
For my printer, it's complete opposite. If it's just finished and it's hot, I've got no chance. If I try and lift but I'm using glass. But if I try to lift it up, it will bring the printer with it. But as soon as it goes cold, you can flick it off.
Yeah.
So I have to wait for mine to go stone cold before it comes off. But again, it's weird.
With regards to the replacement beds, I found 2 on Amazon, and Amazon isn't always the cheapest. Excuse me. I found this one, and you know, they look the same. $16.98 for 3, delivered next day. The other one I found is this is a magnetic one, but I'm not. It does actually say you can either peel the. Where is it? Yeah. Yeah, you've got the top surface, and then you've got the bottom is magnet. Oh no, is that the one? Or is it this one? Sorry, yeah, this one. This is the one where you can either put it on, stick it on, or bulldog clip it on. And obviously, I'll bulldog clip it. So, but yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm happy with that. And then there's this one. It's 20 quid for one, but it's magnetic. So I'm not really sure worth it because I'm happy with the bulldog clips.
Well, yeah.
And I'll tell you what I do. Right, bear with me. I've got to concentrate here because I'm about to hit a stop button. We don't want to end the show prematurely again. I'm back. No, I'm not. There we go. Right. Yeah, I can't. I don't know where the setting is built in. I don't know if it's built into Cure or built into Ender, but every time I start a print, what it does, obviously your nozzle, what it does is it runs a line there and then back again, and then it starts the print. So as a result, because the bed, it holds, we saw how well the bed holds the print on. So as a result, I don't have any bed adhesion at all. I always used to use a brim, didn't I? Whereas you used to use a skirt.
Yeah.
I don't even use a skirt now. I just, because it does that little line up the side. So I'm getting the purge, aren't I?
Yeah.
But I
don't. Then I wouldn't need to do it. But
yeah.
I get a bit of a purge. You waste a load of filament. It ejects a load out my nozzle. Then it'll do the skirt.
Yeah, you need the purge in case some you know, if it's right up against the end of the nozzle, you don't need a purge. But basically, it's always worth having that little purge.
going on outside.
Like your neighbour's dogs?
Yeah. Oh, loads of them all out there.
Thank you to the guy who bought me this. I can't remember if he's told us. Obviously, I know who bought it, but thanks to the guy who bought me this. Really, and it just enabled me to get things to play. So, what I might do is I might print some like square rods, and I might sort of test how strong they are compared to PLA. I just wonder how much stronger they are. But you know, you saw me hit that with a brass tipped hammer. So it's got some strength. Well, I haven't got anything PLA. Oh, yes, I have. Now, I really need the same thing in PLA, really, don't I? To test it. But where's my camera gone? But yeah, it takes a moderate beating with a brass tipped hammer. So, do you think you could do that with PLA?
No.
It has weakened it. But I think the infill, it's, I don't know though. It has done. But I don't think the infill's gone in so well. So yeah, you can beat it, but at the end of the day, it's plastic. You know. See, I can get through that bit. So So it will go with a hammer, but these test pieces are for, isn't it? It's to destroy. Yeah. So, but you know, is beating something with a brass tipped hammer considered normal wear and tear? So, but yeah, it's great to be able to have a play and not be so limited. So I'll try the yellow stuff next. I hope the yellow stuff is as good, if not better, because it's a lot cheaper. I feel really bad actually because I put the yellow stuff on my wish list. It's Amazon Basics, $18.99 a roll, which is actually cheaper than my normal PLA. But my PTG from 3D filler print is like 27 quid. So when you're looking at 18 quid, you're not expecting a lot, are you?
No.
But when I saw this black stuff is £1 cheaper. But it wasn't until I looked at it closer after someone had bought it for me that it's 10 quid postage. And I think 27.99 a roll is a little bit expensive. So I've removed that from my wish list because I wouldn't wish that postage cost on anyone. Right, so anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it.
I think that was a good show. So next week we are designing a tube bender and we are going to be soldering in the sun.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
So I think we've gone off track a little bit with saying this is what we're going to print next week. However, all of the files are available on, you know, if you look at the link in the description, that takes you to the website where we got all the instructions from. All the files are there. I suppose I'm going to sound a little bit the wrong way here, but you know you're going to be printing all the files. But how long did it take to print all of the files? Because we printed them pretty much all in one go, didn't we?
Yeah, I think I did it over a couple of days.
Couple of days. So we're talking about 20 hours worth of print for the lot.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't constant printing. I just did a bit here and there. When I came up, the print was off. I thought, oh, I better put some more on. So,
I mean, it depends on your quality. It depends on the color. If you print them all off on rough quality, all the same color, then you can chuck them all on the same print bed. Whereas we were printing different color. Did you print yours different color? Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Your cogs Are they the same colour as the moon ringy thing?
Yeah, gold. The only colour that I've printed in a different colour was the ones at the bottom, which were in the base.
Yeah, see, I've done my planets different colours. So obviously I was only able to do them one at a time. If I'd have done them all in one go, I probably could have saved myself 2 or 3 hours. But you know, the more work you put in, the better results you get, don't you? So, but I quite like. I don't know why I've picked 2 yellows there. Oh, they are actually 2 different yellows, aren't they? One's, oh, that's that one. Yeah, one's sulphur, one's yellow. Believe it or not. So, yeah. So I think we'll be playing with these next week, won't we?
Yeah.
Why have I gone large screen? How do I get out a large screen, full screen? I think I must have hit a button on the keyboard.
Oh,
F11.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I looked up and suddenly the monitor took up the whole screen. Right, okay then, guys. So I'm going to leave the show there. Are you all right to leave it there, Horlicks?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
it took a lot longer than we wanted. I think when we got to the rod bit, we ended up at like 10 o'clock. So
yeah.
And do you know what? Tomorrow I'm doing overtime. I'm cleaning buses. I think I've probably got the best job in the world for hot weather, haven't I?
Cleaning buses.
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving it. Well, it's funny actually. I didn't really want to work Sunday. I don't like working Sundays, but call came over on the radio. Does anybody want to work Sunday non-driving work? Now, I think I've got to work next Sunday. I think it will be on my rota. So I therefore don't want to work Saturday. Otherwise, I could end up doing 12 days on the trot. So I really want Saturday off. But then that means I've got no overtime. So working Sunday is the first day of the week. Saturday is the last day. So working tomorrow means I'm doing a 6-day week in that pay week. And to be honest with you, £4 an hour extra for overtime for a 10-hour shift and not meeting any customers, I can't ask for more, can I?
Close.
Well, it's customers is a funny thing because customers is what makes my job happen. If I didn't have customers, I wouldn't have a job. Yeah. But at the same time, it's what makes my job hard.
Yeah.
So are customers a good thing or a bad thing? We often say, I think a lot of bus drivers say this, the job would be great if it wasn't for the customers.
Yeah, just drive the bus around for the sake of it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, train driver, that'd be a great job, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you haven't got to deal with the passengers, do you? You just drive the train.
Yeah, that's it. Let the guardsman deal with the passengers. Fabmade.com. How do the R2D2 pan? It's panning. I'll show you a print I did today. You've already seen this, Horlicks. But this is the first really good quality print I've done with it. Today, I reprinted one of the panels on the second ring. The original panel for the coin slots has this bit closed in, but the version that I've printed off is it's got an opening door, which will go on like so. So that's what the original looks like, but this one's going to have a hinge. There's a couple of hinges here, and it'll open up. Obviously, it's not opening properly because it's not, but it'll open up like that. So it's come out a little bit near the top. It's come out a bit dodgy, but that will fill fine. I don't know why, but I think the problem I've got is it's the springs are starting to go. I keep meaning to get some. I was going to contact Steve Graham, who's offered me some springs, and I think I'll just get me on because I can get like a pack of 16 of them. But I think the bed's now starting to have trouble leveling, and it doesn't seem to level in the middle. So I think that's probably why that's gone funny at the top. I think what's happened is where it's not level, it's printing like that, and it's kind of going down a bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but I'm all right with that because I'll fill that. It's all going to have filler over it anyway. But this was a 0.3 layer, and I'm really happy. Well, look at those the dots for the LEDs. They've come out really well. I'll try and get a really good close up on that. Given that there's no supports, they've come out really well. So, but yeah, so I'm on the lookout for any additional files. This is one of those ones where you might as well do it because obviously I'll have LEDs to put in there and stuff like that. But some people put like a phone charger or whatever they want in there. But if I never open the door and just never use it, never open it, it'll be no worse than the original file, will it? So I'd rather have an option and not use it than not have the option and want it. So yeah, right, okay then. So if that's it, then I'm gonna end the show.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sweating in here. I need to get some air.
I had a shower just before the show, and I feel like I need another one now.
Yeah. And yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully, next week we'll have a sun that lights up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. So, yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye. Then I'll let Horlicks close the show. All right. Take care, guys.
Okay. See you later, everyone, and see you all Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Right.
Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.